Every little thing I do never seems enough for you. Oh, hi there. My name's Bleaves. What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a good morning. And that ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye. So, what we've got right now is we got a lot of movement happening in the markets right now. We got a lot of alts in some way popping off just a little bit. And what does it mean for the market? Well, we're going to check that out. We've got a bunch of news. So the halvings here. What's going to happen next? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to go on right after the halving, so that you will know how that's going to play out. You might also want to know, what is DePIN. DePIN is the new hot button in our business. And funny thing is, it's a lot of the old tokens that you've already probably got. Things like Avalanche, Pendle. There's quite a few that you're going to see as we go through the list. I got a list together, so I'm going to show that to you so that you know what DePIN is, and you'll probably look at it and be like, oh yeah, no wonder some of these things are running. Avalanche, of course, being one of them. So we're going to check all that out. API 3 starting to have a big move. Aave having a big move. Avalanche, of course, having a move again. Bencoin up 20% on the day. All of the sudden, we're starting to see a little bit of that recovery. Now, if you got into Dev E, when I told you last week when I did the promo video, you're up 70% right now. And I think that it's just getting started, because there seems to be a pretty decent and robust amount of trading volume. And we just went through the weekend where there's low volume. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that like button on the way in. And remember, as we kick this off, we got a good show for you today, but this is not financial advice. And I am always right.
It's your boy Bleav. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, good morning to you. If you good morning. If you don't good morning, well, good morning to you anyway. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you are ready for this week. It's going to be a mixed bag, I think, however, for cryptocurrency for the week. But before we get into all of that, J Lock, good morning. With Sonic Mike, top of the morning to you. We got Blockchain Bonehead in the house. Good morning. Brian Bootyhead's here. Mike Volmer, Hammerside's in the house. Richard Caldwell's here. S-Dog is here. Crypto Surfers in here, volting it up. Speaking of which, I got my new Volt gear. Just came in. I got a new Voltage shirt. I'm not in their chat anymore, but I do. But I did get some new Volted merchandise from Crypto Shay. Shout out to him. George Lopez Garcia is in the house. Xander Harris is here. Tony P's in the house. Local 420. I remember your day. Jason Pollin's in the house. Grant Vorshuk's here. Norbert is here. Vader Prime. We got Aaron Thompson. We got Zicko volting it up in the house. We've got Jay Manuel. We've got Jeff T. Marcelo Juarez. We got Stig Beater. We got Dude Tyler. Raymond Pritchard. One Life No Regrets is in the house. RV is here. Duke Wan. Stephen Blaylock. Ramon Betancourt. We got Scottish Crypto doing the same thing. We got Anorexic in the house. Oh, don't eat anything. And then we got Lady Frame said he wants to collab. Lady Frame, collab with me. I don't think he will. I got a feeling that he's going to be, I got shit to do, whatever that day is. Scottish Crypto says, I designed the dragon on the back of your shirt. Please, won the competition. By the way, really, it's, and let me say something about that Volt shirts. Actually, those are really nice shirts, right? On the front is like the diamond, the diamond dragon. And then on the back, it's like a diamond dragon roaring. So I really like the shirt. Really came out very nicely. So with that being the case, let's get into what is going on all over the place. We've got good morninging, and then what do we have here? Top 3 coins to watch this week, and we're going to kick this off with a couple of them that this. And by the way, again, it's coming from Watcher Guru. Cryptocurrency market is showing signs of recovering from a recent slump. Bitcoin has successfully undergone its halving cycle, ushering in some bullishness in the market. When we look at the chart, we're looking at a little bit later on. But you're going to see some interesting things. I did a video last night. It was about what's going to happen next and what it looks like in 2020 when we had the halving, in 2016 when we had the halving, and what the charts look like and how they reacted. The difference, of course, this time is that we have ETFs. We have a lot of inbuilt FOMO sort of opportunities and sentiments that are lining this market. So we could see some kind of just radical takeoff. Make sure, by the way, as you're coming in, we got about 80 people watching right now. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. It helps push me up in the algorithm. Even if you're not a fan, I'll let everybody else become a fan. You know what I mean? So the first one up is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the current market leader, and other assets follow this trajectory. Therefore, it makes sense to keep an eye on the OG crypto. Bitcoin has made a significant turnaround after falling to just above $60,000 earlier this month. However, the halving event may have helped Bitcoin reclaim the $66,000 level. According to Coin Codex, Bitcoin will continue to rally over the next few weeks, hitting a new all-time high on April 26th of 2024. Now, of course, they're using a machine algorithm in order to get that number. We don't know if that's going to actually be the case, but it's looking like we are going to get a magnificent sort of push on Bitcoin. So get ready. Moreover, the platform anticipates Bitcoin to surpass 80,000 in May, which actually makes a lot of sense as we look at it. I'm going to show you exactly why. I think they're a little aggressive in getting to 80,000, but they're also looking at the ETFs and seeing the amount of crypto coming off of exchanges as well. And they're probably feeling that that's a pretty bullish number. So with the halving, with searching for the halving, with information regarding the halving being at a premium right now and Google searches being at an all-time high, it really could be that this ushers in a new era of retail returning to crypto. So we'll watch for that and hope for the best, if you will. Not sure that we're going to get it, but we're certainly going to be looking for it. I'm going to center myself here just a little bit. Sorry about that. So, but with that, let's move on to the next piece. The next one, which SHIB. So Shiba Inu witnessed a 1.2% correction on the daily chart, a 4.2% correction in the 14-day chart, and a 0.4 correction over the previous month. However, it's up 20% on the week. So it looks like there's kind of a robust recovery coming. And according to Coin Codex, SHIB may enter a bullish phase over the next few weeks. The platform anticipates to hit 4 zeros, 39.52 on April 29. The platform predicts SHIB is going to hit an all-time high by May 20 of 2024. Now, they're very aggressive right now in predicting that we are about to get on to a fantastic sort of bull run, which could be earlier than we previously said. Again, I give you the numbers in my last video. I'm going to show them to you, by the way, but I gave you the numbers here. It was months after the halving that we really got a 20% correction to the upside, and that heralded a big sort of spike in price action. So we could see it the same way. And then the third one on the list is going to be Toncoin. Ton was one of the best performing cryptocurrencies in the market. It hit an all-time high of $7.63 on April 11. It's faced a downward sort of correction, but it's up 31% in the previous month. According to Coin Codex, it's going to continue its bullish trajectory, and they predict it's going to hit an all-time high at the end of this month, a couple days from now, at $8.05. And they anticipate that it's going to breach $10 within a month. So there could be a real opportunity here if you haven't already to grab yourself some Toncoin. Might be the last opportunity that you get to accumulate. So we could be in one of those situations in which you're running out of time. You are running out of time now. Before we go any further, make sure if you haven't already, NordVPN, sign up for them if you want privacy, security, and protection that only NordVPN can provide. KCEX, that is a non-KYC exchange. If you're currently using MEXC Global, then you know that on June 30th, they will require full KYC in order to be more compliant. By the way, not a bad thing. It's an expansion. So if you're already KYC'd, you have nothing to worry about when it comes to MEXC. But if you prefer a non-KYC, then KCEX, link is in the description down below. Also, BingX and Femex. If you are a fan of Ben Armstrong, Femex is your place to go because I'm trading under Ben Armstrong's account as well. So if you sign up there, you're going to be helping me and you're going to be helping him. And Nick Bright is in the house in just a little while. For anybody who doesn't know, we are going to be giving away 150 billion, I want to say, in Zella Boba. And we're going to run a little quick competition here. And if you want to be entered, we're going to put it in here and you're going to win yourself some free Zella Boba. By the way, sitting around a 350,000 market cap. We'll look at the numbers in a little while, but they've been really consistent and they've been really active in this market, even despite some of these enormous downturns that we've experienced. So I got a feeling that this team is probably going to get really, really rewarded. You know, look, at the way that they're trading right now, I would imagine 100x. And by the way, it's going to be on the Arbitrum chain. So if you have an ERC-20 wallet, then you're going to be able to do this. And it would not surprise me to see a simple 100x where it would be it's like 30 million market cap. So yeah, that would be a great possibility. And if you get a Palau ID, then yes, you could have dual citizenship, and that would help you on your KYCs. So next up, let's get into the next one, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin halving is now boosted by tempering geopolitical tensions. So according to the ETC Group head of research, Andre Dragosh, last week witnessed significant downward reversals in the global crypto hedge fund beta and saw a dominance of Bitcoin long future liquidations. However, crypto assets rebounded from the loss sparked by geopolitical tensions amid the Bitcoin halving. And he said that his observation was followed by his analysis that any positive performance effect linked to the halving has yet to be priced into the market. Additionally, he forecast that any such effect might only begin to manifest approximately 100 days after Friday's event. And that's a very good, remember, Coin Codex is telling us right now, Coin Codex is telling us, you know, strap a rocket to your ass because we're about to explode. But I don't think that it's going to happen that quickly. And again, I'm going to show you on the charts in just a little while how long it took for the last two halvings to get a 20% increase. And I'll show you the exact number of days and everything because I did this last night. If you didn't watch that video, shame on you. You should. And by the way, if you watch my videos, if you watch any of my videos, please hit that like button because it helps me out. The only thing, there's two things that help support me. That's you hitting the like button, which is monumental in this space. If you watch my video for any length of time and you hit that like button, then it pushes me up in the algorithm. So if you're watching here for an entire hour, then you're helping me with ad revenue, stuff like that. However, the other important thing is share with people. Share the video on any social that you've got. Refer friends, get people. And then if you want to see a special crypto that we don't normally talk about, super chats. That's the way that you do it. That helps fund me and keeps me going in this space. Now, let's move on to the next one. On Monday, Bitcoin experienced an uptick alongside equity indices. It was up 0.25 along with the European stock 600 and U.S. pre-market. We're a little bit later. It's really weird, by the way, for me to be in here talking about this stuff and not watching the markets open. I still haven't gotten used to that. But Bitcoin's trading at about 66,300 right now. So $43 billion has entered the market. That's nothing, by the way, because if you remember, not that long ago, we were sitting at about 2.7 trillion. So we've got about, I want to say 300 million, 350 billion more dollars to re-enter the market just to get to our pre-halving. Excuse me, to get to our pre-halving top. So, there's a lot of opportunity potentially So we'll see how this plays out. But again, shout out to Ben, up 20% on the day, and we'll work our way through it. You know what I mean? Woohoo! So, woohoo! All right. So the next question or the next thing is, what is DePIN? So, unless you've been sleeping under a rock, there's been a lot of people talking about DePIN in the last bunch of days. So, what exactly is DePIN? Well, DePIN means decentralized physical infrastructure network. Now, if you look on my chart right here, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. Across the top on infrastructure, you're going to see Link in there. You're going to see USDT. You're going to see things that you know, Pith. We've talked about this before. In DeFi, you're looking at some of the familiar ones: Pendle, MPL in Layer 1, Avalanche, XDC, ICP. In ReFi, you're looking at Regen and KDE. That's Kadena. And then down here on networks, you've got Dust, you've got Pollux, you've got Rio. I mean, these are buzzword projects that you've been watching for the last bunch of months. And then for real estate is a big sector right here. You've got Pro, you've got Props, you've got Parcel, you've got IMO. And by the way, you can go on some of these like Land, and you can buy your own house as part of this DeFi network as an NFT or something like that. It's just the kind of a herald to what could, what there could be going into the future. So you should be checking out all of these tokens. So, but what is DePIN? I mean, that's the question right now. And decentralized physical infrastructure network refers to the application of blockchain technology and decentralization principles to physical infrastructure and systems. In recent years, the rise of blockchain technology has catalyzed a paradigm shift in how we interact with digital systems. Enter decentralized physical infrastructure networks, DePINs, a novel concept that extends the ethos of decentralization to tangible infrastructure, promising to reshape industries. DePIN enables autonomous real-time interaction inside physical infrastructures through technologies like smart contracts and the Internet of Things, increasing system responsiveness and adaptability to human demands. After the initial narratives around such value stores as Bitcoin and speculative investments like altcoins, blockchain can truly impact life in the ordinary citizen through DePINs. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and this is where we're starting to see the real world come in. What we've been looking at is we've been looking and waiting for that catalyst that changes the paradigm by which we operate. We're looking for something that changes the way that we interact with blockchains. So DePINs can offer unchangeable records of product provenance in supply chain management, ensuring authenticity and transparency from manufacturing to delivery, which means you can basically send your invoice through the blockchain, or you can send your order through the blockchain. The order will then go through a blockchain that goes to, for example, UPS or something, and UPS tracks it along the blockchain the entire way there. You know how some people take a picture of your package when they deliver it? Well, this entire thing can be tracked through the blockchain, which eliminates a lot of loss and potential waste, because there's some things that you cannot fight, right? This can decentralize and democratize access to energy resource by enabling solar panel homes to sell excess energy to nearby households. So not only would you have a blockchain that's able to transmit data, but they can use your power source as well. And through Land, through Parcel, through any and all of these, you're going to have your housing deeds on the blockchain as well. Additionally, by ensuring sustainable power sources for blockchain operations and IoT devices, renewable energy integration complements DePINs and lessens their environmental impact. Another core component. DAOs augment the ecosystem by permitting self-governing and independent decision-making. So projects like Power Ledger and OpenBazaar laid the foundation for demonstrating how blockchain could decentralize energy distribution. Power Ledger empowered individuals to trade excess energy peer-to-peer. By the way, there are a few of them right now that you can give up your like bandwidth, or with Render you can use your CPU or your GPU's computing power to help in that network, and you earn yield for doing that. Helium leverage blockchain technology to create a decentralized wireless network, enabling individuals to earn rewards for providing coverage and connectivity. So Render introduced a decentralized cloud computing platform offering scalable and cost-effective infrastructure. Filecoin revolutionized decentralized storage by leveraging blockchain technology to establish secure distributed networks for data storage. So all of these different things are going to be incredible, and we're not going to get into how each one of these works, but this is a big time. Is a big time move by a big time project here. We're starting to see each and every one of these kind of get their, make their way, if you will. And yes, Jasmy is big on the tracking, and Sony execs run it. Former Sony executives are running Jasmy. However, until just recently, and this is actually fantastic for Jasmy, by the way, but up until recently, Jasmy, their white paper was in Japanese. You had to have a translator in order to figure it out. But there's an American one out now that's in English that's helping everybody else get. It's been translated to a bunch of different languages, but they're now changing, and more broad adoption is coming for Jasmy. And it is my opinion that the next PlayStation is going to have Jasmy integrated into it, and that's how you're going to get. That's how you're going to send and receive data and video games, everything that you want to buy. I've got a real good feeling that Jasmy is going to be the future of that Sony network. Now, it's possible that Sony just kind of skips them and does whatever they want to do, but I don't think so. I don't think Sony executives left the company in order to do this, in order to not have an inroad into becoming the blockchain, the preferred blockchain for Sony. And that would include a rebrand, by the way. I don't think it's going to be called Jasmy. It'll probably be called Sony Chain or something like that at some point. So there would be, but as long as you have the Jasmy tokens, you're going to be good, because that's going to be most probably the gas that burns everything in that ecosystem. So, but anyway, shout out to that. Now, Terra Luna Classic, just so you guys know, up 20% on USTC, up 10% on Luna Classic over the last bunch of days. Had a nice little reversal, had a nice little run, and now it did hit the golden pocket. We did hit our ratio, if you will, and once it went in there, it's now trending in that range. So I do expect that we're probably going to hit that 786 number. This is what it looks like right here. We've come into the golden ratio. So bang, probably hit 11.7 pretty soon, bounce back down wherever, and then have a breakout and getting back up here into this 13,000 range. I do think that that's the next move for Luna Classic, and that would correspond along with USTC. USTC had a much more robust move, actually went and banged off of the 786 fib retracement line already, came back down into the 5,618 ratio for consolidation. If it consolidates from this range, then it should break out again, coming up into this range, and then from that having a breakout from there. So the most important part is this long-term trend line right here has to be broken back into, and there's going to be a lot of sellers that are going to step in at this range, which is why I said that it's probably going to break out from there, come back down, and then get a retest. So that's what it looks like is going on with Terra Luna Classic. And now let's just get into it. Here's what Bitcoin looks like, guys, to give you an idea of how Bitcoin is trending right now. So this blue line that we have right here is that's the line for the halving. And let's cut some of this out right now, because I do think that we're headed to, I think, by the way, that we're headed to about 82,143, which is going to be right here. 82,257 is my number. I think that's where we're heading. We may not even stop here at 80,000. Like, we may just shoot straight up. You know what I mean? Like it may just be one of those big moves. But as you can see right here, we've kind of established a floor at around 61,000. And despite the fact that we've wicked down a couple times, we seem to be pretty solid in this range. And this looks like a continuation move right now. We've got the W formation coming in, and that usually sparks another. This is potentially that big. This is the Wyckoff distribution. So the question is, do we have a downside move before we get that bigger upside, right? So, or was this the downside that we got? Now, as best I can tell, we're going to remove that as well. As best I can tell, 82,257 is going to be the next target area. And we're seeing a nice green candle for today. But I want to point out, since the halving, and we settled right there, we're actually up 4.5%. So that seems to be quite a bit. Now let's move over here to, this is 2020, and this is what happened in 2020. So in 2020, what we got is we got this, and we're gonna go back in history just a little bit here. So forgive me if you've already been here, but by the way, we've all been here. This right here, this absolutely catastrophic sort of dip, which resulted in a correction from the high of 10,500 all the way down here, 62% correction in a very short period of time. That's COVID right there. That's when we locked everything down. That's when everything started to get crazy. That's when we were feeling, oh no, what's about to happen? We had this enormous drawdown brought about by COVID. So then once we got to the bottom, we had an enormous, reversal and a buildup. We got to the halving. Well, this is what happened in the halving. Remember, I told you we're 3 days in and we're 5% up. Well, 3 days into the halving, the last time, we ended up down 13% with a rip all the way down. 17% is how much we were down right after post halving. Now, it didn't last that way. It immediately got bought back up and we ranged sideways. And the question for me is, how long did it take us to get to a 20% gain? Well, the 20% gain was right here on this day, which was August 2nd of 2020. So it took approximately 87 days, which I went ahead and put up right here. 87 days is how long it took for Bitcoin to have a 20% gain overall. Now, let me also say, if you take, because it's kind of a trick here, it's from that day. If you took this 20% decrease over here and you added it over here, well, there's a 30% increase overall. So there is some volatility. There is still some opportunity to make money. It's not like we're it's not like it's just all down or anything like that. But from the top of the day of the halving all the way to where we had a 20% gain from that point, 87 days. So approximately 3 months is how long it took. And it's kind of a long time. So now let's come over here and let's look at the next one, which was 2016. And how long did it take? Now, remember, these things are, there is volatility still. So from the halving date until 3 days after, we were down about 4.5%. Within 2 weeks, we were down 31%. So we haven't seen that happen yet. We've seen volatility, we've seen downward momentum, but we haven't seen anything like this 31% capitulation. We saw 15, 20% a couple of times, which, I think that's kind of the norm. I think there's less volatility overall. And, if a war breaks out, then, if another war breaks out or a big continuation, we could be in trouble. But for 20% gains, it took 148 days. And again, not from here, but from where we settled on the day of the halving, it took 148 days to get a 20% gain. Now, when you look at this 31% downward motion and you go up here to this top, that actually was an increase of 70%. So there's still plenty of upside. Like the point to this is we're at the phase where the bull run has started. Now, it took 148 days to get to 20%. And then after that, a few days later, what happened? It went out of its mind. And we end up with an $1,160 Bitcoin, which then crashed all the way back down to 748. If you look at the parabolic move, this whole cycle here went to the 5.0. Then you saw another gigantic move, and then you saw it capitulate again. Then you saw another, and then this is the bull run kicking off right here. This is when you really, really felt it. And all I'm doing is just dragging and dropping and showing you how high this thing went from that point. And it continued and continued and continued and continued to soar. And then we got to the bear market. And then we got then we came into that bear market, and then we had a secondary top, and then we got to the next bull run. So this is cyclical. for sure, and a testament to what comes next. Now, what comes next here? Look, I think there's going to be some sideways ranging a little bit. I think there's going to be some volatility. I think this, and then we're just going to absolutely just blow up, and we're going to see like an $80,000 or $90,000 Bitcoin coming like in very, very short order. Like I don't think that we're going to have to wait too long for it. The issue and the difference, of course, is this time there's ETFs. Those ETFs, we've got an approval in the United States, so we got an approval in Hong Kong. So now the question is, when does the powder keg, when is the fuse ignited, if you will? So right now we're trading at 66,474. Again, we're just continuing to soar from this last moment. So you're seeing a big green candle today. You're seeing a big green candle. Yesterday we closed in the red, but the day before you saw a big green candle. So we've had, a nice recovery. So it could be that dip that we were looking for in the previous markets actually happened pre-halving because of the ETFs. Like it could be that this right here, that was our black swan, if you will, from here down to here. It's a pretty big dip. That's 10,000. That's not insignificant. When it comes to overall, you're looking at about 20%, about an 18% drawdown. So it very well could be that we're done with that and that we've used this platform here at 61,000 to create that big reversal and that big move. So very likely we're completely done with the super dumps, if you will. But in the event that we're not, if we're not, then it should be noted that the next level where it's just going to be, hold on right there, it's going to be 52,200. So there's still some potential for downside. Is it realistic to see that crazy downside? I don't think so. Again, I think it takes a nuclear war. I think it takes Russia dropping nukes. I think it really takes the United States retaliating. I don't think it's Israel and Iran trading fake missiles back and forth to make it look like they're doing something when they're not really attacking one another. They're just trying to save face because one of them made the mistake of attacking the other. So, I don't think that we're looking at I don't think we're looking at global thermonuclear war, Dr. Falcon, but we are looking at a difficult moment. And that difficult moment is creating some narratives here that if you are in the TradFi markets, that it's time for you to get into DeFi. It's time for you to get into Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. And it's infuriating Peter Schiff. By the way, Bitcoin is now outperforming gold over the last few days, and he is furious because now he's talking about, well, if you look at this specific day, if you look at, from when it was up here at the top right here to right now, gold is outperforming it. So na boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. And then all you can say here is like, zoom out, bitch. You know what I mean? Like zoom out. Like be a grown up and zoom out. And anyway, we're on our way to 90,000 pretty soon. Target's going to be 82 for this move. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know that it's very, very close. We're looking at that big breakout. Now, what do some of these other tokens look like? Well, DevE, by the way, if you didn't, I told you guys I made a video on it over here on Thursday. And then after the Thursday video, it is now up. Well, it was up 75% until about an hour ago, but it was at 74.81 is where it rode up. It looks like right around this area just a little while ago. Yeah, 74.50 before retracing just a little bit. So I get a sense that this is the reversal that we've been looking for on, as you can see right here, like it's had that downward momentum. It's been coming down. So the question would be, this downward momentum is starting to turn right here. That should be heading back upwards, or at least, of course, stair-stepping its way back up. So, the question would be, where does it go from here? And, I gave you a bunch of different levels, and it rejected off of some of the levels that I gave you. So, wait a minute, take that off. And so we hit the first level, and so we're going to remove that right now. and it looks like we kind of got rejected by it. And the question is going to be, so we'll see whether or not it goes any further. It came into the 786. So now what we're looking for is a move into this golden ratio from the dip, by the way, and it's a new token. So remember, this happened to Arbitrum when it first launched. And then what did we get from Arbitrum? Well, boom, 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 boom. You can see right here, the same thing happened to Arbitrum. It had this nice big move. Then it had a nice big secondary pump going to a new all-time high, which, now we're looking at this a little bit. You see right here, it did the same thing right there. Then it got that secondary top. And then what it do? It came down for consolidation. Well, Arbitrum, same thing. Had this big first move, came up here for that secondary. Then it came down into consolidation, came back up for a retest, got rejected, came down a little bit more. And then it got its big move, came up to $2.40 or $2.30, whatever that number is, 240. So it came up to 240, and now it's down to $1.20. So standard fib seems to be playing out pretty well. If you look at, one of these moves here, then you can see, like, the ratio and where it's stopping, it all makes sense. So human sentiment, if you will, is winning. So what's the next move for DevE? Well, I think, and it would be my opinion here, I think we're going to kind of move away from that. We're going to get up here right into this range at $1.13, most probably $1.06 right here on this fib level. So if you're not in right now, there's another probably 75% to go before we get into the next level. So if DevE does what it purports, and it has the move that I think it's going to have. Now, by the way, this could be that this secondary top right here could just be part of this cluster, and I might be looking at it the wrong way. We could be looking at the next big move, taking it up into 320, getting into this range right here, and then we could be looking at it, that downward momentum happening from there. But it remains to be seen at this point whether or not that's going to have a chance. Stephen Blaylock, thank you for the $5 bomb, says, does Songbird have a chance to make it? So let's see. Songbird launched. Is it the one that was launched a month ago? The answer to that would be no. I gotta know which one it is, Stephen. Let's see, one word here. We got singing birds. I don't see any one that's really got a. What chain is it on? Songbird. Here we go. Songbird. Trading at a penny. Is this the one with 157 million market cap? Most of it's in circulating supply. Volume is 467,000. So I would say if this is the one, then the answer to that is going to be hell yeah. What's the purpose and what's the function? What's the use on it? Hopefully it's part of Flare Network. Okay. Use Flare's decentralized data acquisition protocols and scalable EVM smart contract to expand the reach. Kraken. All right. Songbird. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, this is SGB on Kraken, right? If it is, then it does. I mean, it looks like it's just kind of, like there's a lot of stuff that's out here that's been out for a little while that, it's called the Flare Network and the Spark token. So the Flare Network is a consensus network safety, compatibility. Actually, yeah, it does. I don't know what I don't know what the purpose of Songbird is here. Dude, I would have to do a lot of research to kind of figure this out. But I mean, generally speaking, it's got $400,000 in trade volume. The total supply is out there. The one concern that you might have about it, it's a self-reported circulating supply, and then there is a max total supply of 16 billion tokens. Where are those 1.3 billion tokens that are not in this number? And if the team is holding on to it, then they're holding on to what appears to be about $17 million worth. And is $17 million enough to build the ecosystem that they're trying to build? And if it is, then, I mean, you're fine. Made a nice bounce off of the 500 MA on the daily chart. Short squeeze inbound. So they're looking for it to have some sort of squeeze. Let's see, SGB. So SGB, you said it was on Kraken, so we're going to look at it on the US dollar here. So, all right, so this came out in 2022. It looks like it started, or at least got on Kraken, went as high as 12 cents. The Flare network seems to be active. So, yeah, I mean, I think this would be fine. I mean, like, there's a lot of tokens that look like this. There's a lot of them that have, these downward trajectories. I mean, look, I'll put it this way. SGBD, again, this is without knowing too much about it at this point, but I do know a lot about Crow. And I mean, look at Crow. Crow is way down as well. I mean, when you zoom out on Crow, you're basically seeing the same structure. It's these secondary tokens have not had a chance yet to really start to go. Band protocol, I mean, again, no matter how much you pumped so far, when you zoom out, Band protocol, the same thing. There's a lot of different tokens and coins out here in this ecosystem that have not taken that opportunity and have not pumped yet. So here we go. The same thing. If you're looking at Cardano, so what we're waiting for, I mean, basically what we're looking for is that next level, and we're looking for that altcoin season. We haven't seen an altcoin season yet. If we see an altcoin season, then this thing's going to pump like crazy. And it should be noted that there's been specific narratives that have been positive for crypto. There's been Solana having its nice little recovery, because you can see it right here. Solana, if it were not for that crazy thing that happened over here and the meme coin craze that happened here with Solana, then I don't think that this would happen. But it did. It would still be down in this range right here right now, and we'd be saying the same thing about Solana. But it got lucky, it got into this move, and now it looks like it's ready for takeoff. And along with that came things like Dog with Hat having a crazy time, things like Myro having a crazy time. There's a bunch of different tokens out there that contributed to this network having a significant recovery and a significant run, and then new tokens coming into each one of those ecosystems along the way. So, but I mean, really, if you look around, you're wondering, why is XRP not running? Well, the market's just not there yet. XTZ, Tezos. So, what does Tezos look like? Well, it looks like this. It looks like everything else. It's all still down. We haven't had that blow off. So we will get that blow off. Are we in altcoin season? That's a question that you always have to ask. However, that altcoin season index is not great. So we're sitting at 39 right now. We did have that blow off not that long ago. And to be fair, from now at 39, we could go down a little bit more, get into this range right here. But, we're still going to come back up, and we're going to have an altcoin season. So this would be an accumulation time right now. So there you go. There's plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of opportunity. We are still going to get an altcoin season. We just haven't seen the altcoin season kind of blow itself off yet, if you will. So there we have it. Token unlocks, CTSI. We got Pendle. Remember, Pendle is one of them we were just talking about, RWA assets. ACA, EUL, SUI, RON, EDU, YGG, AJAX, Portal, Some of these have some pretty big, they're called Cliff. At CTSI, it looks like it's got a pretty significant, because it's got a 172 million market cap, and 4.7 million is unlocking. SWE, not too bad. Ron, not too bad. YGG, Yggdrasil, I guess. That one has 15.82 million unlocking in 4 days and a 269 million market supply. That's a lot. That's 10% could be dumped on the market, or close to 10% could be dumped on the market pretty soon. Ajax, 8 million, not too much. Optimism, 2.68 billion. It's got 61 million unlocking. Prime at 725 got 320 or 32 million unlocking. So nothing too bad, except for that YGG seems to have quite a bit that's about to unlock, and CTSI has quite a bit about to unlock. So otherwise, I think everybody's kind of okay. You know what I mean? So anyway, liquidation heat map. This is we're going to refresh this because it looks like we're heat seeking right now and looking for liquidity, and you might see kind of a push upwards, and like we're in the range right here. So this is 24 hours. So most likely scenario is a move up to 67,000 pretty soon. We're at 66.4 right now. We rejected off of this range. So there could be a move into 65 or down deeper into 65,000, maybe, if they can rip it. If they can rip it, then 63,871. But the more likely play out right now with the narratives and everything is a $67,000 move on Bitcoin in the short term. On the longer time frames, getting into 3 days, there's still a lot of money sitting down here. So I would not be surprised to see a move to 63,000 coming at least before we start to really run. I mean, again, these guys are predicting 82,000, 90,000 in the next 30 days. We're going to have a dip, and we're going to have to annihilate some of these long positions to get new buyers coming in and stepping back in. But significantly, there's the number right there, 71,600. That is where an enormous amount of shorts are sitting right now. And if we want to make the big move in crypto, then that's the place that we're going to have to go. That's the next big area, and the next big pool of, hey, a lot of people shorted this market when it hit that top, and they were right to short it all the way up to 74,000. It looks like, you know what I mean? So, and then please check out VIT Vegas Inu. Yeah, that's December DeMarco's project. Let's boom. Vegas Inu. All right, so there we go. Probably looks like shit, by the way. Like everything, all these meme tokens, unless they, really got a nice run going early, or just launched, probably looks like shit. I mean, like it looks like shit. However, the good part about it is it's at the bottom of the move. So, you had that nice little pump when it first came out. So what are you looking for? Well, you've got rejection coming over and over and over again on this range right here. So there is a declining sort of resistance over here. There's only 751 people. I mean, this is, look, nothing against December DeMarco, but this is dead as fuck right now. It's only got 751 holders after, what is it? What year is it? What year is this? Oh my God, please get your shit together. It's 8 months old. So in 8 months, it's only attracted 750 holders. So it's probably not going very far. You know what I mean? At best, I would be looking at a move up here, swift rejection. And then, the question would be, is this turning? You know what I mean? When I look at that, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find where the bottoms are, and it looks like it might be curving. So just like with the rest of the market, comes back down here. If it tests this bottom again one more time at 35, then it breaks out. If it can break out above here, then it trends sideways, and then it starts to move upwards. But it's entirely speculative. And I mean, what does it do? Would be the question. on the web. Vegas Inu. It doesn't do anything, or at least not that I can see. It's just a speculative asset that it's a gambling token. I mean, basically, it's a gambling token. I don't think it. I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen in this market. If you get a little bit of a narrative behind it, you get a little bit of something going on behind it, then maybe. But I don't. Doesn't look like it. Just does not look like it's going to do very much. It's only got a few. There's a few holders. You know what I mean? So you need more than what's happening right now. So we'll see how this plays out. But for the moment, this would not be something I would tell anybody to buy, unless you're just trying to support your guy. Unless you're just trying to support DeMarco. This would not be like an investment buy that I would make. However, the important thing to remember is there is a line, a descending line. It could break out. If it breaks out, cool, but it doesn't look like it at this point that it's going to break out. It just looks like it's going to continue its way down. And you know what? Let's just do this. From here, if you look at it this way, it looks dead to me. But some of these things, even though they look dead, they go out of their goddamn minds at some point, and you just you see this incredible sort of run for no reason because they got a listing somewhere. You look at 132,000 in liquidity. You get one person who's a nice whale who starts to DCA their way in, and he gets a couple more friends like, hey man, let's run a pump on this. You get something like that, then anything can happen. It's going to be limited no matter what happens, but I wouldn't be looking at too much. Now, we are getting towards the end of it, so it is going to be time to StreamYard Picker. All right, guys. So we are using the StreamYard giveaway tool. So boom. All right. If you are boom, 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 boom. So we're going to try to match the text. If you are interested in this drawing is going to be for Zella Boba. We're going to be giving away 150 billion of Zella Boba token. Zella Boba is right here. This is the wrapped ETH pairing, but there is an Arbitrum pairing. The giveaway is going to be for the Arbitrum pairing. As you can see from right here, it doesn't have a gigantic market cap, but it does have it does appear to have a nice floor right here with some upside potential. It didn't come back down to this, so it could retrace just a little bit, but it just recently had its blow off sort of top, and that was way up over what anybody had seen before. It was about 3x from its previous all-time high a couple days ago, and it's consolidating in this range right here. That could lead to another big sort of move. Very low market cap, it's a micro cap, so anything can happen with it. But if you come over to, let's start with the web real quick. We'll do this as quickly as possible. You can see right here, Zella Boba is just one of those Sesame Street sort of characters. They have a Zell NFT. They have the cookie jar. It's designed to be a high-powered yield AYP rewards generator, and then you have Club Zell, and then you have all the people that are part of the ecosystem. However, let's also move over to Twitter because they go buck fucking wild on their. Matter of fact, they've had more followers than Vegas Inu at this point. So as you come down here, you will see that Zella Boba actually does a whole lot, and it's pretty funny the way that it does its memes. They're a little bit edgy, a little bit. Sometimes you're gonna be looking at them, you're like, oh my god, okay. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a meme token, purely a speculative meme token asset. It'll have a few utilities along the way, but generally speaking, and stuff like this, like they have a good sense of humor, and they're having a good time, and just recently came off an all-time high. So what we're going to do is, if you are interested, then you're going to put in chat, you're going to put hashtag ZELE. Hashtag instead of cash tag, but you're going to put in hashtag ZELE. And we're going to do this. We're going to give you 1 minute to put your hashtag ZEL in here if you want to be part of the drawing. What we're going to do is we're going to pop that in here, ZELE, and then we'll zoom in here so you guys can see it if you need to. There we go. So if you want to win, hashtag ZEL. All right, so we got about 40 seconds here. Hashtag ZEL. And then we're going to have to get out of here and pay some bills because we got, it's a great Monday, by the way. So far, seems like we're having a nice little recovery. It'd be interesting to see it continue. And by the way, if you have a wallet that's ERC-20 compliant, if you have any Ethereum wallet, then it works with Arbitrum. It's the same address. It's the same protocol. You would have to import your Arbitrum information if you're not using something that's already integrated. Coinbase Wallet, MetaMask are both integrated with Arbitrum, I believe. So if you're looking for integration, that's where you would find it. So we got 10 seconds, 10 more seconds, and then we're going to do the giveaway. Hashtag ZELE, hashtag ZELE. Crypto Antagonists use ZEL. Stylish Shantos used ZEL. Hashtag ZELE. Make sure that you're using the ZELE just in case. I'm not sure how this is going to work otherwise. So hashtag ZELE. All right. So 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I posted I literally posted it in chat. Hashtag ZELE. If you scroll right back there, I did it myself. I'm in the drawing, by the way. Haha. So let's take 1 more minute here. Hashtag ZELE. Hashtag ZELE. So let's see what goes on here. 30 seconds. So I'm just doing a little background music for you guys, a la Jason Lee in Jay and Silent Bob or something like that. So, all right, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If I win, y'all ain't getting shit. How about that? All right, so we got 14 entries right now. If it's me, by the way, then we're going to draw again. So, all right, so we got a winner. We've got a winner. We've got Eric Zander. We've got Norbert. We've got winner is Justin W. Justin W. on go to X right now and send me your ERC-20 compliant wallet, and then we will send you. Make sure that's Arbitrum as well. But we will send you over 150 billion in if Kraken, by the way, Kraken supports Arbitrum. So as a blockchain, it does support that on the blockchain. So all you would have to do is change it to like RB. It's like ARB 20 or something like that. It's ERC 20. But you just have to be in the Arbitrum network, which I think is already anything that if Kraken has Arbitrum tokens, then it's compliant. So, but it's an ERC-20 token. So anyway, Justin W., send me your wallet on X, and we will get it sorted out right now. Anyway, so congratulations to Justin. You are now part of the Zella Boba army. Make sure you shield the shit out of it. And now it's time to pay the bills. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for taking your time. I know you got plenty of different stuff in the day. Today was yellow, by the way. We're changing the color every single day or every other day, whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You get it. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys again very soon. Guys, the bull run is almost here. The halving is almost here. The Hong Kong Ethereum ETF is almost here. You like ERC-20. We all like ERC-20. And the best way for you to accumulate more ERC-20 tokens or more Bitcoin, it's Cryptonomy.finance. If you've been here before, You know that I've been talking about a lot of these tokens. There's over 400 that you can choose from. They offer an exchange with the best rates, without commissions, and support from a highly qualified support and trading team 24/7. And this is available to every participant. Of course, you get immediate support if you are a VIP. And you can deposit UST into your Cryptonomy account, and then you can start to buy the desired assets that you want to use over here and exchange them as needed. Over 400 of them. And there's going to be a lot of updates coming out over the next couple days, weeks, and months. So guys, if you are looking to advance your crypto portfolio, you need more tokens. Why not let the tokens that you currently have work